So anyway, I got talking to him and I was just sort of like, oh, I make these mixtapes and I've got all your stuff, like, can I nip out to the car and will you mind signing them up? So I ran out, got them signed up, and then I gave him a CD copy of the Doom and Ghostface one. And I just said, oh, look, I make these mixtapes, like, is there any chance like I could do one of yours? And he was just sort of like, well, yeah, I've had people say this to me, you know, you can imagine how many times over the years. So here's my email address, do one, send it to me. But if I don't like it, it is what it is. And I was like, yeah, fair play. So anyway, I'd gone home and like, I'd recorded it once, listened back, oh, it's not good enough, did another one. And then I sent it to him one day, just thinking, all right, I'll just send him that, see what he thinks. And I sent him it, and first of all, I thought he's not going to remember who I am. Secondly, he's probably never going to listen to it in his life anyway. But then, to my surprise, he just messaged me straight back saying, oh, I'll download it now. I'm in an airport. I'm just about to get a flight. I'll have a listen. So I was just like, oh, right, nice one, sort of thing. So anyway, then 2 hours later, I just got another message off him saying, oh, this is like the best mixtape of my own stuff I've ever heard. Like, what do you want to do with it? And then I was just like, fuck, I don't know. But anyway, we ended up doing it on cassette, and I think we did 4 or 5 different colour shells, and you know, make it collectible. But they just went like it was just me selling them from Miami, packaging them up and everything, and they just flew. And then from there, it was just sort of like, oh, cool, I did that sort of thing, and I'll move on and try and do some other things. And then anyway, a few months later, I got a message. I woke up one morning, I had a message off him just saying, oh, my wife's doing my 50th birthday party in New York. My wife's organising it. I've got Big Daddy Kane on, and everyone who, like, if you see the footage on YouTube, it's just like everyone who's anyone in New York hip hop was there. But anyway, he said, oh, your mix, I really liked it. Would you do me a different one so that we'll get it pressed up from our end, but I want it as a present to all the guests. And I was sort of reading this. I was getting ready to like go to school, sort of like to go to my work. But I was reading it like this, and I was like, I sort of read it about 5-6 times, and I started like nudging my wife, and I was like, fucking hell, like, check this out. And she's like, he doesn't care, and like, who's Master Ace sort of thing. But to me, yeah, that was like Jesus Christ, like, this is massive sort of thing. So then I wanted to do one I didn't want to use anything that I'd already done on the previous one that we'd put out. So I did I did it completely separate, sent it to him, and he was like, oh, this is dope as well, but I wanted you to use like Born to Roll and a few of my obvious ones that you'd used on the first one. So I ended up doing a third one that was basically parts of this one and parts of that one. And yeah, I just sent it over to him, and then next thing he just sent me some CDs in the post, and then he was like, oh yeah, we've had like 1,000 of these made or whatever it was, and I'm giving them out to guests at the party sort of thing. So, and then I just saw on Instagram or whatever all the photos coming up of him like handing them out, and seeing like people stood there with my seat, like just thinking, fucking hell, I've made that.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, it was amazing. It was like, this is like, to that point, it was like, cause like when I put the Scorsese one out, like at the time, and then off the back of that, I ended up doing a Sun Records one and a Lee Ramsey one and a Capo one that were all official mixtapes, and got to know the people, them, and like that to me at the time was like, this is huge. Like, yeah. And then this was like the next step. It was like, fuck yeah, like.